Hello.
We're back. 2023.
Hello, 2023.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Hope you're all good. Yeah, we had a busy couple of weeks, obviously prepping for the embargoes and all
Embargo
the product launch.
month.
I know. I'm actually sick of that word.
Yeah, I don't hear it anymore.
Everyone's sick of that word.
If I checked a time and date once, scheduling stuff, I checked it 1,000 times.
But it's good to be back. Good to be back with you guys. Lots to chat about. You know, turning the page and getting ready to go again for a new season. Nothing better than a fresh,
It is nice.
fresh kind of clear out all the 2022 gear. I know you guys feel like there's too many cycles of golf clubs, but we love it.
Well, we've just seen the same stuff, so much work all year with the same stuff. It's kind of fun to get some new stuff in the door.
It really, really is.
Such as
Yeah, today's
a Cobra Aerojet driver.
Oof. Fast.
that is a handsome
It
driver.
is a handsome devil. If you have not already, leave the live and go watch it.
Don't worry about this. You can always come back to us.
Come back to this. That's the Aerojet LS. Our review just came out at 10 a.m. Please go watch it. For the love
That
of
thing,
God.
that LS model to me just looks like a monster.
Yeah. It looks as good as a driver can look.
Listen, just because I throw out a compliment these days, everybody relax. I'm not going to play.
Well, you might play it.
No, I'll try it.
This is
Shocker.
Well, you have to change the shaft, but otherwise this was sent for you, I think.
Product research.
9-degree LS.
Yeah,
Mikey,
definitely worth a
That's what
try.
he thinks.
But
I like it. It's very
you're
nice.
happy with, well, you're going to keep your autoflex, but the head is always...
I don't know. It'd be pretty tough to change that driver.
that
But
TSR.
the year's
yeah,
young.
your TSR is good. And I think a lot of hesitation is on, if TSR hadn't happened, it would be different.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because like I have a TSR, you both have a TSR. If it weren't for that, I'd probably just be like, yeah, I'm probably playing Cobra, but...
I mean, Titleist have, I think, such a smart window now for releasing their product. Like releasing
Yeah.
it in the late part of the year when their product is very, very good. I just think it gives them a jump on everyone.
But
Yeah.
it does. 100%
You
it
know,
does.
they don't get caught up in this whole like, oh, when's this embargo, when's that embargo. They have the time all to themselves. Guys like us spend a lot of time focusing on that.
Yeah.
So
I think it is the standard to which all of the drivers that you guys are seeing us release embargoes on is being held to, right? Everything is being compared to TSR.
yeah.
So tomorrow, just so everyone knows, tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern, you will see TaylorMade's new driver on our channel.
Yeah.
At 10 a.m. Eastern, you will see Ping's new driver on our channel.
Oof, what a day.
That's a big day.
It's a big day. So those are two big releases. Tomorrow morning, don't work, don't do anything. Turn YouTube on and just leave it running. Tomorrow's the big one.
Yes. Tomorrow is the big one. And then
Yeah.
really by that point, has everyone got their woods out? Has anyone left?
So we are going to review them.
Yeah.
Strixon's embargo is up. We just haven't hit them yet. So you'll see Strixon reviews from us coming at some point. I don't remember when in the schedule it fits in, but Strixon's Iron release is the 11th, which is Wednesday. You will see two really good videos that we just filmed on the brand new line of Strixon irons from us right on embargo day and time. And then you'll see some trickling in of different stuff. We've got Ping Woods will come out at some point. The hybrid, the utility iron is already out. TaylorMade's new 3-wood video will come out later in the week. We filmed so much stuff. I'm like,
So,
I'm forgetting.
it's
You should
actually
see the
hard.
page. Have you looked at the
Yeah.
page of like what's scheduled? It's
Yeah.
like a page long.
I know.
We have like 10 videos that have been made but haven't been released.
Totally.
So lots coming out, guys. The next 2 weeks, you'll see probably 6 videos a week from us.
Definitely.
So lots going on.
Sorry. One of our viewers there, Lynch 5552933, good channel, but I'm unsubbing because of all the damn notifications from you guys.
Good logic.
It's this time of year we're releasing that product. Dave Vogel, why don't you just turn off the notifications? There's a man who understands technology.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. Val, has any? What was he getting?
Nothing, it's just funny. I'm just
I
laughing
know.
at that. Why don't you just turn them off?
Just turn them off. Has any manufacturer released new women's clubs?
Yes. Actually, I'll go grab it.
Is it
The women's Aerojet is really sharp.
Good looking.
Pardon me.
Almost everyone I think that we've tested has.
Yeah, they would,
And I don't even like to call them women's clubs, Val. Just lighter options, right? So just being able to maintain that club head speed is the premium. Golf clubs react a little bit differently as well at different swing speeds, so you can actually make the face a little bit quicker in order to try and when you bring the weight down, it allows you to speed the face up because it's not being swung as quickly. So pretty much everyone. But again, don't feel like as a woman you have to gravitate to women's clubs. Right, just got fitted like everything else, blank slate, and whatever works for you works.
That is the ladies, let's call it, or lighter head Aerojet.
It's nice.
So it's actually not. They kind of went more silver and a very subtle light blue.
That's right.
Which is nice. I think the guys were saying a lot of women's feedback is I'm sick of all the pink and purple stuff.
Yeah.
Can you give me something that still looks? It doesn't look that different than the call it men's item, for the lack of a better word, but yeah, everyone pretty much will have a option.
Okay.
Can I take this one from Micah here?
Yeah, for sure.
Is Bettinardi as good as Scotty? Sorry, Micah, let me just put this in. You can.
I think that's a very, very easy one to answer. Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Good quality milling.
Yep.
It's great stuff, isn't it?
Finishes
really
are
is.
nice.
Finishes are very nice.
Scotty just has such a robust system now for, I hate to say it, but recycling what works. But they kind of give it tweaks here, tweaks there. I mean, it does evolve, but I mean, it is a well-oiled machine.
Bettinardi definitely has more I would call it unorthodox shapes to certain putters.
I agree with that. Different.
But great technology in them. I like them.
Agreed.
Lovely.
Some thoughts, and I guess some people watching some of the other reviews out there. Peter Finch reviewed the new Cobra drivers. The LS didn't spin much lower for him, and he said they are really hard drivers to hit. What say you fellas? I mean, we spent a decent amount of time with them, and if you go and watch the videos
Which
we've
you
done in
should.
California, we didn't see that. Now,
No.
I will say we got some serious VIP treatment.
We
when
got
were
a
with him down
tour fitting basically for all three drivers. So maybe Peter just needs to play with them a bit more. Sorry.
Yeah, and obviously shaft wise, I don't know if he got a full spectrum of shafts to
We
try
did.
and
Yeah,
things
we
like
got
that. We got everything. We got brand new Bridgestone golf balls. We got
They
everything.
were custom weights as well.
Yeah.
We had access to. So the LS definitely spun quite a bit lower for me. You can see in the video it was the lowest spin of the bunch by a fair margin, to the point where for me I would probably loft up. I could hit the 9-degree fine in the Aerojet, and then the 10.5 is what I needed for the LS.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think the LS might have still spun a bit less.
I know.
So yeah, I think Ian made a good point. Cobra really set up like a tour experience golf for us. So we got spoiled, and maybe that's why we got such great results out of them.
Yeah.
But I think the potential of those drivers is very high. I wouldn't say they were disappointing in any factor. To me, they were really good. They were an improvement on last year, which are already really good drivers.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think we left California feeling the best about Cobra of all the launches, and I think we can see
Top
that
to
now.
bottom. Yes.
But yeah, we left feeling the best about Cobra over all the companies.
And you'll see part of why that is because there's a release on the 12th from Cobra, which is an iron release.
Yeah.
I can't tell you much about them, but we were extremely impressed with those. So yeah, I would say top to bottom, Cobra was very impressive.
Without a doubt.
Very impressive. Quick one from from Jeff, just because we're talking about new product. Mizuno is coming out. They already have.
Yeah.
We're going to do it at the show, yeah?
We are going to do it at the show.
Okay.
Yeah, with Vosh, I think.
230 series? What it's called?
It is
I've lost track.
terrible.
I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's SZ 230. As
the
we
boys
all
mentioned.
literally
We know all
embarrass
this info.
ourselves.
I know.
Yes,
There's literally so much product.
Mizuno has new woods, so we're going to spend some time, hopefully, with Chris Vishal on the range at Demo Day and get our first look at those because we haven't tested them yet. So yeah, Mizuno also, I believe, has a wedge release,
Yeah.
which you guys will see from us.
Yeah.
ST230.
ST230. Okay.
Yeah. I done a podcast on the new woods with Vosh and Dave Matthews just before Christmas. We were going through all the new tech. Got me pretty excited about it, to be honest. Yeah, the sort of evolution of the Mizuno woods and how base. Well, not to kind of give too much away, but they have been on a pretty quick turnaround time with woods recently. They've been turning them over pretty fast.
Yeah.
They will not be doing that moving forward
Oh,
because
really?
they feel like they've reached the destination.
That's
Right.
quite interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah, they feel like they had to. It was like, okay, make a change, test it. Make a change, test it.
Yeah.
And then they feel like what they got from this year was, okay, this is something now to build on.
So it might be a 2-year cycle now? Interesting. That's a good one from Ryan. What do you predict will be this is a tough one. What do you predict will be the best fairway wood of 2023? And we can't talk about some of them, but we'll still tell you what we think.
Yep, we can.
And we've seen some mighty fine 3 woods, let me tell you. You've already revealed, Ian, a liking for the triple diamond paradigm.
I really like the shape of that. I like the numbers, the ease of use from that first moment we saw it and hit it. I mean,
I didn't get to hit the triple diamond, but
Yeah.
watching you on the range with some, it wasn't like hard to hit, wasn't
No.
crazy low spin. That one's a beauty.
it was.
TaylorMade has a really nice 3 wood coming out that I think you guys will be impressed with.
Yeah.
You'll see our video today. Another video you could go watch if you haven't is the fairway woods from Cobra.
Yep.
Cobra's LS 3 wood is extremely nice.
Yep.
Like it looks great. It flew great. I could even hit the LS version, which is shocking.
Yeah.
I got some good numbers with it. So if I had to guess, I have a feeling Paradigm will be by the end of the year, I have a feeling the two of you will say Paradigm did the best.
Right.
I
Just
don't know
'cause
that
of the sleeve.
Yeah, I just think also the look and the sound, the feel of it, I just think it's kind of a total package type of 3 wood. But to be honest, the Cobra LS 3 wood reminded me a lot of that Paradigm, so
Yeah.
those two could go either way. But yeah, we'll see.
We will see.
Titleist obviously already has a really good 3 woods out too,
So
so it's
hard to
kind of hard to
beat,
say.
yeah.
Like, Titleist might be the best of the year by the time we're done.
Totally. John Jensen, Happy New Year, fellas. Stealth irons. Any new stealth irons coming this year? Second, shaft selections only. Nippon 105. I use 95 gram shafts. What KBS shafts or true temper shafts would be similar to the 950 Neos? So there is a new stealth iron. Is it released yet? Can we talk
Not
about it?
yet. Stealth continues. There's an addition to the stealth irons.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That we hit on the range.
Did we?
I remember I was hitting that one and we couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
That one, it was
Yes.
Nice
It's
and
in the
easy
drawer
to hit.
now, yeah.
Yep.
So, there is a new one coming, John. If you were looking at stealth irons, I don't think you'll be particularly interested
Yeah.
in this one. If you were looking at stealth irons, it's very different. And in terms of a shaft, that's 95 grams.
I mean, True Temper does offer DG 95 R300.
Yeah.
Good one, popular one for us. We have it on the wall.
Yeah, for sure. What was the other company you said? KB.
Yes.
KBS.
I'm not as
on that line?
familiar with what KBS are out right now. Obviously, the original 90 Tours was to compete not with the Neo Nippon 50, but it came out directly to compete with the original, the GH 950, as a kind of bit of a dispersion killer. So I'd probably say of the old school KBS lineup, that would be the one. But I know they have been expanding the range quite a bit on that.
I can't remember what Tour Light weighs. Must be 105 again.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill Wang is asking Titleist T100S versus Apex Pro versus Gen 5 0311Ts. What do we think?
Are we talking forgiveness category here?
Yeah,
or-
probably just like overall, where would you rank them?
Feels like T100 and the Gen 5 are closer in shape and performance, no?
I think most people's opinion would be T100S is going to be the popular opinion there. Such a good iron, slightly stronger loss, but just looks brilliant. I would probably lean slightly towards the Gen 5s. after that. Apex Pro, to me, acoustically was not everyone's cup of tea. I think it performed okay. It performed actually really good in that 4-iron I used to have, but that clickiness, people tended to, you know, we didn't sell a lot of sets of them. So I'd probably put that in the number 3 place.
Gotcha. Mikey, have you hit RTX 6 yet?
No.
Okay, we
I've
have
seen
them.
it, but a long time ago.
Okay, we have them, guys. We'll do a video. Maybe Wedge Connoisseur Mikey can do the hitting, but we have them. We just haven't tested them yet.
Erlinger has an interesting point about, you know, Aerojet, you know, combining the Aero Burner brand and the Jet Speed brand into obviously, I guess the assumption is that Cobra are trying to regurgitate something that's already been done.
Oh, I see.
You know, by TaylorMade. That's definitely not the case. You know, it's the shaping of the driver, right? So, looking at the sort of, you know, the aerodynamics of a wing with that kind of like rounded front to it, and the way that, you know, the wing sort of falls away, and the way that basically catches the draft, and you know,
the raised back is the big one, right?
Yeah, that's it. How
It's also very smooth at the front. Like it's hard to tell on camera, but all these edges are very smooth.
Those are very the transition of the face, which obviously is separate from the body. How that transitions with no edges or ribs, in order to obviously catch and create a barrier for the air to travel.
And the top crown's more rounded. Is that right?
Yeah. Again.
Like the fact that the weights now are on the LS are further away from each other.
Yeah.
Last year it was a great driver. It just maybe not as customizable for, you know, the draw fade players that we need to fix, but
definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely not a TaylorMade driver. They've got their own thing going. I think people that liked LTDX, this driver isn't, you know, there'll be subtle improvements, but it's a lot like what they did last year.
Taylor is asking, which new driver sound did we prefer the most?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
That is a hard one. There's some good sounding drivers out there now.
It's almost impossible.
My preference is still on TSR, I'll be honest. I really, really like the sound of the new Ping LST.
Did you like it that much?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think once we get outdoors and you kind of hear that crunch, I think that'll be really good. There's a lot of carbon in drivers now, guys. So when it comes to the sound, like, I mean, you know, you've got 2 companies that are really playing the all titanium game now, which is Titleist and Strixon.
That's right.
You've got, you know, obviously TaylorMade, Cobra, Callaway, Mizuno, Ping. Lots of carbon going on. Lots of carbon. So
good point.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting that some of the best sounding drivers are not from the carbon world. You know, with Titleist, I know we really like that Strixon sound.
Titleist sounds great.
Well.
Yeah, Strixon sounds great. I like the sound of the Cobra myself as well. I thought it sounded great for a carbony driver. I think it just has a very kind of solid sound to it.
Good one from James. Best cheaper alternative to Mizuno 225s. A lot of DTC clubs come up in that world. Tacoma, that's what sprung to my mind. Original Haywoods, for sure. Lots of good options in that realm, James. Tacoma, maybe the T model. I think, and Josh has a T model, doesn't he?
I think so, yeah.
So yeah, lots in that kind of price saving bracket. Sub 70 have some options. A little bit of a different look to my eye, but they do have options in that hollow body as well.
Jason, unfortunately, you've asked a question that we don't have the answer to. He wants to know what the stock head weight of the Callaway Paradigm is, head only with the slider weight. We don't have any in the shop right now, Jason.
I'm going to go with 187.
Okay, Mikey guesses 187.
Without the
adapter,
cog?
yeah.
I think that's
187.
No adapter.
Really close.
No adapter, but with the sliding weight. Okay.
Yeah.
Jason, that's our best guess. We just don't have any to weigh for you, otherwise we would. We can take this question pretty easily from Man Burrito. Cobra's iron release is the 12th. So you will see one video from us on that day. I don't remember the time. I think it's 10 a.m. Eastern on the 12th.
Dave is asking, this is for you two boys. Dave Dave Fogle's asking, lads, just to be clear, is this the Cobra driver that Bryson was so excited about last year when you guys were in Dove Mountain? He was saying, you think this is good, just wait till next year.
This would be, because he said it was the year after. So, I don't know why specifically he likes here's my opinion. LTDX was, now it's out, extremely good.
Yeah.
I don't really know that there was a whole lot that needed improving, so I can see how someone would go, well, if like, why would Aerojet be something, massively better? I'm not sure. My guess is maybe he gets more club head speed out of it with the aerodynamics.
Yeah.
I don't know what else would get him super excited. I found the experience of hitting LTDX a lot like hitting Aerojet. They're both extremely good.
Yeah.
But this is the one that Bryson was stoked about, so take that for what it's worth. Maybe it just fit him better. I'm not sure. Not sure. We'd have to ask him. Maybe we get to interview him again one day. We'll ask him the answer.
All right, Kyle H has a Mikey question, build question. Do the new Ping irons, the 59s and I-230, do they require any tweaks when shafting? Seems they have a higher bore to ground measurement, shallow hosel depth.
I mean, the Ping the Ping irons, their ferrules obviously come almost like a shim.
Yeah.
Anything we build with Ping, we shim everything because they are very hollow, or they're very short. So a brass shim from any of your golf parts retailer, they'll have them. I think now Ping has big hosel, so we're using anywhere from 370 shims, sometimes 400 shims, depending on the shaft.
There you go. Michael Hughes asking specifically on Patrick Cantley, thoughts on him not re-signing with Titleist, and if we have time, and Hugo Boss. Don't really much thoughts on the clothing side of things, but it is interesting that he's left both.
Yeah.
Kind of wondering what he's going to do. Do you think he goes no sponsor for a while?
Well, I mean, the fact he's left both would make you think he's going to a company that has a tie-in, maybe like a Callaway Travis Matthews or Cobra Puma, that type of.
Callaway is going crazy with signings. I'm not sure if they have any more room if they in their roster, but yeah.
Well, they had such a strong year. I mean, in in the business world, you look at their year. I mean, with Top Golf and all their other assets under their portfolio, they had a tremendous year.
That's true.
So maybe they've got a little bit. You look at the money they just spent on that Paradigm launch.
Crazy.
That was
flying
insane.
Everyone to LA and
sign the good boys now.
that's it. Yeah, good boys. I mean, that's a big one. Yeah,
they did a lot of big announcements there.
Yeah, definitely. Brent is asking, just saw John Ram has his same Aldo Latour green driver shaft in the Paradigm picture, testament to a great fit, or a great previous fit, or stubbornness. Cheers and go Red Wings.
No go Red Wings.
You know who they are?
We beat the Red Wings the other day.
What's that, American football?
I have no clue who the Red Wings
Yeah, you do.
We know who the Red Wings are.
Don't wind people up. What do you guys think of the shaft? Just something he's comfortable with?
Something he's comfortable
Stubbornness,
with.
for sure.
Yeah, stubbornness. I would say stubbornness.
Like, does he need to change? Is there anything beneficial for him to change into, you think? Like, is he losing out on something?
I guess here's the proof is always in the pudding with these things. Look at last year, he beat out by a record score, that Cam Smith had at Kapalua. I think Smith was either 33 or 34 under and beat Ram by 1. Yeah. And then this year he goes and wins at Kapalua. And that was with a Rogue ST, and this year with Paradigm. So clearly there's not that much of a transition for him. He's immediately able to hit the ground running.
Seems like the shaft is putting the head in the same place.
Yeah.
And then the head is, I saw someone post a couple photos of them side by side.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at the sole of the Rogue and the Paradigm, I know the cosmetics are different.
Yeah.
The shaping of the head is pretty similar. I don't think it's probably as crazy different for a guy like him as...
You don't think there's been a paradigm shift?
I'm not sure there's been a paradigm shift yet.
I believe there has.
Do you?
Oh,
Company man?
Aye.
Company man. I think I do think Paradigm will be a more successful driver for some reason, but I don't think it's anything that crazy. It's not like Rogue wasn't good. Did you get this one from John?
44-inch one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Not yet.
Okay. John says 44 inches seems to be my magic number for keeping driver in the fairway. Okay. That's short, but if it keeps in the fairway, is that length of shaft okay? Seems like on best strike, I'm losing 5 to 10 yards. Thank you for the teas. We're drinking coffee and tea as we speak. Thank you, John. Yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, 5 to 10 yards for a bunch of accuracy, not a huge trade-off, is it?
It's not.
If it
No,
was
it's
20
not.
yards maybe, but
Yeah, yeah.
5 to 10, I mean, yeah, sure, it's half a club, but if you're in the fairway,
I would sort of ask John. John, have you been fit for for a potential back towards standard length?
that's a good
Our
question.
driver shafts on the wall here 45.25. If somebody walked into me with a 44-inch driver, I'd be licking my chops, going, "Oof."
Yeah, I got
I can make
some
some
work to do here.
launch monitor gains, some launch and spin gains, and I know I'm going to get some speed gains. Can I put the face in the right position to match up with the path and strike? So yeah, I'd fancy my chances of being more than 5 to 10 further than your gamer, John. Worth a try.
Yep.
Go longer. Go 46. Long and light.
Long and light, the best. Bucket list golf just wrote Wilson, question mark. I think we plan to visit Wilson at the old PGA show.
PGA show.
I'd be curious if I don't know if they're coming out with anything, but we haven't tested a ton of Wilson in the
Been a while,
past.
yeah.
So yeah, we're going to try to work on that, maybe get a contact that we can work with on their kind of head office side. So yeah, if they end up releasing a driver this year, well, I know they have that D9 or something, but that's been out for a while.
Yeah.
I'm more curious if they release the thing that Gary Woodland had for a while, that lab
The lab
driver.
one.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
speaking of Woodland, he's moved to Cobra.
He's got an Aerojet, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's full staffer now, isn't he?
Oh, is he full?
Yeah, you signed the full
Irons
kit.
and everything, yeah.
I'm curious what Irons
Yeah,
is going to play then.
he'll play those lovely new ones.
You think so?
Those nice ones you tried.
Yeah, I agree. He's a blade guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Some
Lovely
stingers.
John S. Would Aerojet be a worthwhile upgrade from Rad Speed head? The standard head with the bigger weight move to the back. What do you think?
Good upgrade. Worth it.
You are in the upgrade zone.
Yeah.
Why can't I find this question? Where are we roughly?
We're between John and Eric's super, or Eric just joined.
Perfect.
Between them.
Thanks for joining, by the way, Eric.
Yeah, thank you, Eric.
Yeah, I think if you had the Rad Speed head, I think it was fairly well covered by equipment media that wasn't the greatest thing Cobra ever made. So yeah, I think Aerojet over Rad Speed would be a fantastic time to upgrade. It's been now 2 and a bit years,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think you'd like it quite a bit. Obviously, you should still get fit, but the standard Aerojet with the weight at the back is super forgiving. I think the head shape's better, it sounds better, and probably better on. I mean, the ball speed on Rad Speed was always quite good.
Yeah.
It just wasn't the most forgiving.
Totally. Can you bring up that one from William?
Certainly.
William Hartman. Love those ones. So good.
William Hartman, there he is.
William, with COR limits locked, there is no such thing as a longer driver. They are all identical. If ball speed was the only measurement of what made a ball go longer, William, you would be right.
Yeah.
But it's not. And also, you love that.
I think just
You'd have to
smiling.
strike everyone in the middle
You'd
as
have
well.
to- yeah. So you would also you'd have to do that shaft wise, obviously. So there's a video coming on that soon. I have a nice little video on the list of to dos, which is going to be a lot of fun. Kind of, and I think we've done a little bit of this in the past, but fitted driver, standard fit or existing fitted driver versus brand new stock driver.
Okay.
Then
Brand new stock, yeah.
right, and then obviously see what the result of that is, and then we flip it around and do, new fitted driver versus old fitted driver. Where do you end up? And I think that's what William is, getting at, is that the COR, we don't measure drivers in COR anymore. We measure it in CT, characteristic time. Within the characteristic time, the measurement in microseconds of the ball speed as it leaves the face, there's actually a tolerance in that. So 239 CT is the legal limit on ball speed as it comes off the face. There is a tolerance on that, so you can actually go up to 257 microseconds on that.
Right.
So you can live within that 239. So if you ever look at tour heads, and you'll see CT 243.
Right.
Right. That's technically illegal.
But within
the allowance, the tolerance, it's okay to have it 18 CT above.
They're just in the danger zone a bit in case it,
Correct.
like if measured over 1 week, you'd be screwed.
Exactly. There's some fluctuations around the lifespan of a driver, so as the head actually starts to get quicker over time. People think drivers die and faces die over time. They don't. That's, if anything, the longest driver, ask any long drive player, the longest ball they hit is the one before the driver breaks.
Right before breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So measuring it on CT. So COR limits do not limit distance. That's for sure.
Agreed. You want to answer this for your pal Scott?
Drop
Yeah,
the
man.
mic.
Afternoon, chaps. Do you think I should upgrade to? It's all about you, Yeaman, isn't it? Every week. Jesus. Do you think I should upgrade to the new Cobra or stick with the LTD LS? I mean,
I think you should upgrade.
yeah, definitely.
This is just your advice for Scott. Let's be clear.
Yeah, Scott, you should upgrade for sure.
Generally speaking, you probably could wait another year, but for
Yeah,
Scott, you
for
should
sure,
get
yeah.
one.
All right.
Same shaft, just a different head.
Do you want to talk about center shaft putters?
I mean, we can.
No, we don't have
we
to. We've all heard it 100 times. How about this one here about the Vanquish shaft?
Sure.
Because it's an interesting. I've seen some little teasers from Mitsu about
Absolutely.
new shafts.
Well, I know they blew
Like-
up on Vanquish interest.
Oh yeah,
Blew up.
interesting.
Yeah, they said they had a ton of people reaching out after that video.
And there's 2 other models coming. No?
Yep.
Yeah, they said they're going to be walking around the show with just Vanquish, which is
I'm glad we could be of service.
Yeah.
It didn't even do that many views, that video.
I know.
Surprised.
Yeah, I think. But anytime like you grab something like, I mean, you went from literally kind of cruising along in the kind
That's
of low
true.
170s to like all of a sudden you're back in 180
Some
territory.
some money. Yeah, that's
It's
true.
like wow.
That's true. Good point. Okay, so the question is, after seeing your Vanquish shaft video, I put a 5X Vanquish 45 7.5 inch
Jeez.
Gain 10 miles an hour
in a
ball speed.
TSR3 and gain 10
what I'll
miles
be
an hour.
ordering tomorrow.
Holy moly.
That's impressive.
I mean, that's kind of what we're
That's
talking about, I
fast.
guess, is like you
Yeah.
can do it.
You can.
I also think there's an intangible factor of when you have that combination that's longer and lighter.
Yeah.
I said it in the video. You start to feel like you can swing faster.
Yeah.
You do swing faster, and then
100%.
then you can gain 10 miles an hour ball speed for sure.
Definitely.
That's crazy. I think the head probably helped a bit too, though. TSR3 is a super quick head.
Yeah.
Epic Sub-Zero is fine, but I think TSRs are as quick as anything. Well,
Agreed.
you're welcome. You are welcome. That's a good question, Brian. Brian's saying, other than ZX7, are there any other players' cavity irons that are good for steeper players? What other irons have slightly wider soles and/or pre-worn leading edges? I'm sure you guys have a list.
Yeah, a lot of them do it
A
now.
lot of pre-worn leading edges, no?
I mean, ZX7s. I mean, I love the sole in the TC201 Muras. I think that pre-worn leading edge on that one's one of the best.
It's the most pronounced I've seen, I think, isn't it? It's
it
very,
really
very
is,
pronounced.
Yeah. The 502 has a nice pre-worn leading edge. It's much more subtle though, and it's a much thinner sole.
Do my T100s have a pre-worn leading edge, or am I just a clunky old regular
I
sole?
think you're a clunker, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I can't strike an iron.
Yeah, 501 had that bevel on it too, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Straighter though.
Yeah,
Like
for
501 has a straight kind of rather than the pre-worn with a
Yeah.
little kind of rounded.
This is
pre-wear.
a good, quick question. Do you think it's worth upgrading TSI to TSR? What do you guys think?
I mean, for most people, no.
Probably not, eh?
Yeah, for most people, they wouldn't be moving from a TSI into a TSR. I would think.
TS to TSR would be great, though, yeah?
Although in saying that, I did answer this to someone last night. I couldn't get TSI to work for me last the previous edition. It spun too much.
That's true.
Anytime I missed it, it spun through the roof, and
The
I just
low
don't
part.
get that with TSR. So
Depends on your strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people, it might work very, very well for.
Okay. It's a maybe, Ryan. If you strike the low part of the face, then maybe yes.
Yeah, and I think it sounds quite a lot better. I think
Yeah, so
TSR. I think TSI was quite high pitched and tingy to me.
TSR sounds perfect, basically.
Yeah.
How about this one from Zach there? Can we take that? All right. Zach.
Looking to replace the shaft in his 15-degree sim titanium, the OG, with a Ventus Black 7S, since gaining 100 miles an hour.
Okay, so he plays the Black S now.
Yeah.
Can't feel the head. He plays the UB and the TSR3.
Wow, okay.
7X.
Interesting.
Gaining speed. So he's went from 100 to 112. Can't feel the head. Yeah, I mean, can't feel the head. I mean, really, Zach, if you swing a lighter shaft, you generally feel the head more. So, yeah, I'd get together with a fitter on that one and start working through balance points and different things. I'm not sure what grip you play, whether that's contributing towards, a mid-sized grip that takes the balance point up slightly or something. So,
I wonder what
it really just depends. Yeah. It really depends. I just tell you go and get fit. That Sim Titanium is a fantastic 3-wood. The adapter hasn't evolved at all, so anything that's in the drawer now for stealth or the new one, you could definitely plug in and try it
easily,
on the adapter.
I didn't know this. Bruce says, what are your thoughts on Ches Reavie signing with New Level? He's their first PGA Tour player. More signings to come, apparently.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, Ches Reavie is a tour winner. He's not exactly a headliner.
Yeah, he was at Kapalua.
Won the Canadian Open.
Was he?
Yeah,
he's a Canadian Open winner. Yeah. I mean, it's still a big deal. Any PGA Tour player for a company like New Level is a big deal. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, cool for them. I'm curious to see who these other signings are, because they've got the lad on the Champions Tour, right? That won everything.
Steve Alker, yeah. So
they've obviously got some budget to work.
You've got a little inside info on that one.
Yeah, I can't say anything.
Oh, really?
Sworn to secrecy.
Okay. So, what can we say? Any thoughts on it? I mean, the brand has been obviously trending. It got a lot of attention last year in obviously the golf world, probably also the business world. Anything that trends well, on TV and things like that, people are going to be interested in. So, yeah, I think you might see some reasons why there's tour players moving in that direction. We can probably leave it at that without spilling the beans.
Sounds good.
It's an interesting one from Alex. Matty, this popped up in my feed the other day about your chipping video at Pinehurst. Alex has just moved to Pinehurst and having trouble transitioning from the Midwest bluegrass. Any suggestions for wedge, bounce, grind for tight Bermuda turf?
Why can't I? Oh, here it is.
I think it's right down the bottom.
Yeah. Suggestions for Bermuda turf is its own thing. We've only gone on a handful of trips, and every time I feel like I've never played golf before the first few chips I hit. I don't think you need to go high bounce, but I think, like what we talked about in the video, I think you adjust your technique, take the leading edge out of it a bit more, move the handle back, and get a little bit more of the bounce working. I think with Bermuda, to me, anytime, especially the sandy Bermuda at Pinehurst, anytime the leading edge came anywhere near the ground, it was just the worst shot you could possibly hit. So, I mean, what do you think? Would he go up and bounce from, having been somewhere else?
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? I mean, going up and
Midwest
bounce,
Midwest is still not firm.
Bluegrass,
It's maybe
it's
like
us.
us.
Yeah.
It's
but
us.
also, as much as the Bermuda, you want to go up a little bit for the Bermuda, you also get really tight lines.
That's what I was saying.
out
Yeah.
there. So I think that's where maybe in the Volky program or Cleveland's program, or Ping's program, going into some of the grind options where you can maybe raise that leading edge a little bit. We've seen some of that. I actually had my own wedges ground that way. I'll probably do some this year that have those types of grinds on them, so you can lean the shaft forward without dipping the leading edge into the ground.
I should probably have that in mind too.
Yeah,
apparently Kisner and Trey Molinax moved to Wilson.
they did. Yeah,
And that's to replace Woodland. Interesting.
Yeah.
So they're making some moves.
2 for 1.
Okay, from Brian. We didn't take this one, I don't think. Brian plays Ping I210 irons with C-Taper X up to the 5 iron. He loves them. He's looking for a 4 iron. I230 looks a bit small for me. Any recommendations? I mean, if the 4 iron is more of a transitional club, the I230 is probably not. You'd probably want the I525 if you're going to stay with Ping.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
Go a little bit bigger, a bit more forgiving, and a hollow design for a little ball speed there, Brian. The I230, they're nice and compact. It would play a lot like his 5 iron, so you might as well go with a different model.
Definitely.
525s. Are those doing okay? How are you guys doing with those 525s? Because the I-500 was very firm,
A
wasn't
bit
it?
better. Yeah.
So it's a little better with the
bit better,
525.
A little bit. I say I-230 is great, isn't it? It's really, really
That seems
good.
to be a great iron.
Yeah, I think.
I think that 430 will be good. That iron.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep, we got video coming out on that in a couple weeks too. There's nothing we haven't made a video on, just so you know.
Wayne is asking, is Autoflex dead?
What does that just come in now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they run out of marketing money? I don't know if they ever had marketing money. I mean, they never paid us any if they did.
No, we were their marketing.
Yeah, exactly. I never hear about them anymore. Was it all placebo?
I don't think it's
No.
any of
It's
that.
not a placebo.
Definitely not.
They're definitely not dead either.
They are, I believe, still strong. I mean, there's only so long, a product can be considered, new.
At peak
Yeah,
hype
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
The hype obviously peaked
Yeah.
at a certain point,
Totally.
but I don't know. I'm sure a bunch of people will comment right now and say, "I'm still playing mine. I'm still playing mine.
Exactly.
Mikey's still playing his." You don't think you're going to change?
I don't think so.
No
would
reason
you?
to until we see.
No. Do a little fitting maybe.
Yeah,
you
but-
just talked about cheating on it with a Vanquish.
You did.
It's a joke.
It was a joke. Very different animals.
Yeah.
It's its own thing. I think it'll continue. I don't see why it wouldn't. People are just going to see YouTube videos about it and try it. And
Matty boy, thoughts on your swing progress? Let's update the folks.
sure, yeah.
How you doing?
I'm
weekend?
excited about the change.
Yep.
I'm optimistic about what it's going to produce. I will say this: it's very difficult so far to take a motion that I've been doing for probably my whole golf career, which is my elbow traveling way away. This is my trail elbow, way away from me and a little out, to now keeping it very tight and actually flexing the bicep muscle.
Yep.
So it's like this to this was my move. So super
Yeah.
wide to narrow,
Yeah.
which is why I have consistency issues, versus basically just keeping it constant. I've hit balls like 4 or 5 times since last week. I wouldn't say I've made night and day progress. I think it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
I've got a couple little resistance band drills that I've been kind of dreaming up that I talked to Ian about today. I think it's just going to take a lot of repetition.
It is. It's
And
gonna
there's
take
a
some
shot every, I'm practicing. Your post was good when you're like, hey, here's basically my highlight reel. Like, here's my best swing,
Yeah.
but just so you know, they're not all good. That's how it feels for me. Like, I'll come in and practice. I'll try to not hit any more than 120 balls.
Yeah.
Because then I think you just start to get too tired.
Yeah.
And there's usually, 5, 6 balls in there where you're like, holy shit, like that's what this is.
Yeah.
Now, how long is it until that's more on a regular basis? Then I got to get comfortable hitting woods and drivers. So we literally just started. Like this time last week, we were having the lesson with
I know,
Scott 7
that's
days
it.
ago.
Not long.
So I've hit balls, 4 or 5 times. It's not from the lesson, but from hitting off mats for the last 4 or 5 months. Like I've hit
Yeah,
a
see
million
that
balls.
little wrist.
My wrist
support.
is kind of bugging me.
Yeah. I've got some stuff in my. I get a lot of through the mat. I get a lot of shock in
That's
my,
what
my
it's from
lower
too.
hand.
I'm gonna ask Michelle about it.
Yeah.
Michelle is someone that both Ian and I work with on our biomechanics. I'm gonna ask her if there's just some exercises
Yeah.
because it's just from hitting on the mats. It's not like I had it with the swing I was using 2 months ago too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's slowing me down, but it's making me practice a bit more concisely. So we'll probably film something next week.
Yeah.
The two of us.
A little update.
See how we're doing. I would say, it's getting there. I think it's like you. It's just a million bazillion reps to get a pattern. I've swung essentially the same way for years,
Yeah.
and now I need to make a pretty substantial change.
A
So
million reps, that's easy for you. I've never met someone who likes to hit golf balls more.
I think the two of us are close.
Oh man.
Yeah. You hit a lot of golf balls.
Yeah,
So.
I
yeah,
have 4 hours in one day.
yeah.
Yeah,
I've done that.
Yeah.
I've done that at my own club.
Yeah.
I've stopped, had lunch, gone back.
Yeah. I know. I think. It's just what it takes, isn't it? They talk about 10,000 hours.
It's not gonna happen on its own. I
whatever.
always say that to people.
Yeah,
A lot of the time, I'm leaving the house, and Lindsay will be like, "Are you going to hit balls again?" I'm like, "It's not gonna fix itself."
Trey says
Like,
exactly the same thing, and it's just
not
like,
gonna
you
fix
know what?
itself.
If you want to make changes, you got to make sacrifices. That's what I just always think. And
Yeah.
and I enjoy it. It's talk sacrifices like it's such like a hardship, but like it takes. If you actually want to make the changes, the amount of work it's going to take is much more than you think
It's a
gonna
grind.
be.
Yeah. And your progress won't move as fast as you think it
No.
should or you want it to. But I'll say this. The lesson was extremely good. I know some people got lost in the weeds of some of the terminology, but if you kind of boil down both of our lessons, they're two pretty simple changes in terms of movements, and hopefully we keep you guys apprised over the next few weeks about how it's going.
Yeah.
I know I will be practicing as much as I can prior to the PGA show, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying not to think of the PGA show like too much of a test paper and just more just, a chance to hit, shots, one-off shots with a little bit of consequence. But, I'm trying really hard. It's quite difficult for me not to think about going down there and trying to shoot good scores.
I know. It's on my mind too. I'm trying to think about, like, I'd love to go down there and drive it great. It's
Yeah.
like, well, you haven't hit a driver since you've worked on your swing change, so can you really expect to be?
Exactly.
I don't know.
That type of thing.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but we'll keep you guys updated. I think we both enjoyed our lesson with.
It was great.
With
Great
Tsi.
He did an awesome job.
Yeah, your point about the, Scott's terminology. Scott is a teacher's teacher.
He's a scientist.
Right? Yeah,
Really is.
he teaches a lot of the top coaches out there, or mentors them, or educates them. The Scott Coutts certification program is one of, if not the most robust out there in the teaching world. I think he's on 8.0 in terms of his certification model.
Just
Anatomy and biomechanics are the cornerstone of these top instructors' understanding movement patterns. So it's probably quite hard for him when he's coaching coaches all day to switch some of that terminology off. There's some people who love it, there's some people who don't, which is absolutely fine. Over time, he'll probably, like we have through the channel, like our style has evolved with what we see you guys like.
That's a good point.
He will probably over time, I'm sure, might
Bring
get a
that
little
level
bit
down.
towards that.
And I also think that that's our role in the in-between sessions is for us to simplify it just to the basic language the in-between lessons will be a little bit more layman's terms, and then Scott's probably going to be a little bit more on the sciencey side, but there'll be a happy medium in there somewhere.
Without a doubt. Let's see what else we got.
Where are we roughly? Oh, I'm going to take this one. Bradley. I know we were on drivers. Bradley's got a Ping G400, one of my all-time favorites. Do you think it's time for him to upgrade with this year's new 430?
I do.
This is the time?
Freshen it up.
Yeah, definitely. Good time to
I would say
freshen up.
it wouldn't have been time last year.
Yeah.
I think you could have kept it last year.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, Bradley, treat yourself.
Yep.
Treat yourself to a new driver.
Whisker saying, Brooke Henderson to TaylorMade, do you think these equipment moves are just money-based, or is it for competitive advantages?
Seems like a money one to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone makes the move with the thought in mind that, I'm taking the money, and I know it's going to get worse. I think she probably feels like, she's a good enough player. Some people do and some people don't. I mean, I looked at, it popped up actually in my timeline. I remember doing a post on John Ram when he went to Callaway, and I think I'd said, like, is this a good move or a bad move?
Right, because he was with TaylorMade for a long time.
And 55% of people said bad move.
Really?
Yeah, and that I also meant to repost it because it was, obviously, and we have the benefit of
history
seeing
now,
what happened, and I wouldn't say that move made him, any worse or really kind of put him back in his career.
No.
But you might want to use the example of someone like Justin Rose, like he got to world number one that year, moved to Honma. And the kind of.
Do you think that was a coincidence, though? I've always wondered that.
I think there's a bit of coincidence in that because he won his first event with Honma
them.
clubs.
I just feel like
Torrey.
he was capable. Just maybe something else happened with his swing or personal life. Who knows?
All,
we don't
all
know
of
all
that. All of that. Injuries. I know he has some back issues.
I think when Rory signed with Nike back in the day, he had a slump there for
Yes, I
a
remember
while
that.
where everyone was like,
They blamed it on the
boy,
equipment.
What are we going to do here? But obviously, he did
the
pretty
rest
well
is,
with it.
The rest is history, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think Brooke I think Brooke will obviously make more money with TaylorMade.
Yeah.
I don't think she went because Ping makes an inferior product. If that's what you're saying.
No.
Ping's stuff is as good as TaylorMade, so I'm sure TaylorMade offered her a nice contract.
Yeah.
Ping probably doesn't have the same budget that TaylorMade does. We know that, especially even in women's golf. So good for her. Yeah. I think she'll still play well. She's a great player.
Cheers.
They'll fit her nicely, and she'll do just fine.
Grant is saying, morning lads, any timelines on Srixon irons itching to get fit for the new ZX7?
We have all the timelines.
We just hit them, Grant.
Yep.
We just hit them.
Video Wednesday?
Yeah.
I'm so confused. And then for sale or for fitting, what? couple weeks?
Yeah, I think it's the end of this month.
Okay, so February you can get into the bay with them, but
should
you'll
be in our demo matrix in all our studios by the end of this week.
Okay, sweet. So you can hit them and you can watch our opinion of them on Wednesday morning. Time to be confirmed. Speaking of text, I need to send.
Poor Anthony. Poor Anthony Lyons.
What's he up to?
Poor Anthony thinks I'm still using 223 irons. He has not been on the journey after the last 2 months. Where he
feels like-
realized,
Well, Anthony
that feels
didn't
like a
see
year
you.
ago.
Anthony didn't see you bend the 5 over your knee.
Anthony, the 5 iron met an early sandy grave in the desert.
Yes, she gone.
She gone. I had the lofts. I actually didn't configure the lofts. I had them standard on the 223s, Anthony.
Did you?
Yeah.
No adjustments.
No adjustments.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're gone though. He's playing. What are they called now? MC 502
These are MC 502s, and they're
from
this week.
Mira.
This week.
I remember Matt's initial video. You strengthened the pitch wedge. No, I went back to kind of standard on them.
Yeah, I think it was just
Yeah.
a day of thing. You
Yeah.
just weren't hitting your yardage.
Wasn't hitting the yardage, but I know, and I've hit many other pitching wedges now. I know that's a me thing. I went through actually an interesting exercise with those irons on the weekend because I'm, obviously MC 502 being close to a pure blade.
It's a blade.
So
I'll
I'm
give you
playing
it's a blade.
6 to wedge, and I'm playing HMB 5 and 4 iron.
Oh, I didn't know you had
Yeah.
5 and 4.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So they're good. I love the 5 and 4 iron. They're tremendous.
Sweet.
But what I'd done was I pulled up the PGA Tour averages on that chart and basically said, okay, if I swing pitch and wedge at 80, what do we say it was, 85 miles an hour,
85, yeah.
85 miles an hour, can I, meet the ball speed that a PGA Tour player, gets to? So am I getting the output? So am I capable of hitting these clubs at this desired distance? And I was saying to Mikey, the answer is yes, but it asks a lot of you to do it.
So the delivery has to be just so.
It has to be perfect.
That
Yeah,
mishit
yeah.
is not going to help.
Yeah.
like
Okay.
we saw in the new Strixon.
Yeah.
There's none of that.
No forgiveness.
no
I
There's
got
no
you.
forgiveness.
So you need to be just diming them. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a case of, does my game, are these changes with Scott, and am I going to be working hard enough in my game this year to, feel like under the pressure, not in the bay here, can I stand up and hit the shots I need to hit with those irons?
Time will tell.
Time will tell. Yeah, very, very true.
Christopher. Very good timing in this. Christopher says, you frequently mention combo sets of irons. What is the cost difference between a full set of, for example, P7MC versus a combo set of 2 to 3 models? And how different is the fitting time? I'm going to leave you guys with this just have to go to the washer.
No probs. The cost difference, the cost difference is the cost difference between the heads. Normally something like a P7MC is on the higher end of cost.
Yeah.
The forging process, etc. Generally costs a little bit more, Christopher. So, but it's minimal.
Minimal,
Right?
yeah.
It's minimal. There's no like penalty because you're not getting 7 irons of a set and you're breaking up sets. There's no penalty. That's what a store like us is designed to do.
The fitting time's the same.
Yeah, fitting time's exactly the same. A lot of people have questions around how do you come to the conclusion of P7MC and 770 and 790 if you end up comboing up 3 or blades, whatever you might do. Honestly, the answer is maybe you'll do a little bit of testing, so you
Yeah.
maybe hit the 770 also in the fit, get a feel for the sound, the look, the feel, all that sort of stuff. And again, in a shop like ours, if it's a Mississauga store because all the inventory's there, I would go get some long and short irons. I'd sit them down, I'd look at the profile of them, make sure that the comfort level, we talk about sole design, transition, and ultimately what it comes down to, Christopher, is if you get the combo set, come back and gap them.
Yeah.
Make sure that we come back and we gap them. We're never going to put together a combo set for you and leave you in limbo where they don't combo just because they're not part of the same family. We would get them back and adjust lofts. Some might go weaker, some might go stronger, but ultimately we're trying to meet those incremental gapping.
What was
yardages.
just some heads are a little pricier, but
yeah.
But some companies, like if, for example, they have like a CBMB set,
Yeah.
Titleist, for example, those heads probably
Same.
cost the same.
Exactly the same.
It's just if
Yeah.
you go like P790 and then a blade or something. Yeah.
Totally.
Combo set will be very popular when you watch our video this Tuesday.
Feels like it just becomes more and more of a conversation piece all the time, doesn't it?
I just don't see. I mean, well, oddly, I say that. Oddly enough, this will probably be the first year I actually end up playing a real combo set.
Yeah.
But I've always thought it makes total sense. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
What do you see that you like?
I'm right down at the very bottom.
Okay.
James Morgan. Would you guys say that the carbon face is a gimmick? I feel as if it's not adding anything, or at least can't be if nobody else besides TaylorMade is developing that way. Well, I see what you're saying, right? But also, TaylorMade, as they said last year when the first Stealth came out, was that they've been working on this for 20 years.
Yeah.
So this is not some flash in the pan that came up in an R&D meeting where it's like, well, we make carbon crowns, we make carbon soles.
Right.
Why not make a carbon face and save 50% on the weight, on the face? It's not that. They've been talking about this for quite some time. It just took quite a lot of development of things like, the little coating that goes over the carbon.
That's pretty interesting how they do that.
Yeah, how many layers, the geometry of the face, and how that's going to evolve. So, yeah, listen, you've got to applaud innovation. I do anyway. I always applaud innovation and people who will dare to do something different, because that's where leaps are found. If you can change the weight of a face from 26 grams or from 43 grams to 26 grams, that amount of released discretionary weight is massive.
Yeah, to move back or something, like it's not a joke.
Definitely. And if that's the ability when we saw Sim 2 to Stealth, that if that is the ability to add the track back in, as fitters, we are over the moon with that.
So true. So true.
And so there's lots of evolution. So, I love it. I think it's significantly better than anything out there? No. I definitely don't. But what it opens up as options over time could be somewhat groundbreaking.
Yeah, who knows if they get it even lighter? They can have more weight to move around.
Exactly. What do they do if they've got 60 layers of carbon? Can they change the layering of it, because carbon is so strong yet so light? If that can evolve from a shaping standpoint,
that's true.
The geometry of the face and how it can influence the ball speed retention, the spin consistency, all those things. I mean, that's ultimately what they're leading themselves up towards doing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, it serves a purpose. Definitely not a gimmick.
Definitely.
Did you get this one from Brent? And guys, if you haven't asked a question, we're going to wrap up in 3 minutes.
Don't
so just
think I did.
Hang on to your question until next week. Brent says lefties finally get some love with the TSR 27 wood.
Yeah,
I have to hit that. Releasing alongside the hybrids. Speaking of, why do you think so many pros played TSI 2 hybrid over TSI 3? Great question.
Because it's more of a true hybrid.
Yeah,
I think TSI 3 was more of a little compact peanut, driving iron.
It is a driving hybrid, isn't it? Yeah,
I think so.
I totally agree.
Yeah,
TSI 2 is a lot like the standard Stealth.
Yeah.
And Mizuno had a little hybrid that I liked too. I forget what it was called, but
CLK.
That was nice too. Like just sort of neutral, not crazy low spin and all this kind of stuff.
No, one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Two more. Of your choosing.
Let's go 2 more. Martin. Well, let's not use it on this one, but I do need to address it.
Okay.
I won the Rogue giveaway driver, but need to sign on to WhatsApp.
Oh, no.
Is that a gimmick?
Sorry, guys.
Martin, that is definitely a gimmick.
That's a spam account.
There was no WhatsApp sign in.
If you look at the username, they stole the logo and the username is unintelligible. I tried my best to clear it, but they keep popping up. So sorry. That is a scam. That has nothing to do with us.
It's just the...
Don't answer them for any reason.
Exactly. It's just the downside, unfortunately, of running any contest. I've seen everybody's account who runs a contest now on Instagram.
It happens,
People just mirror their account and try and steal all your contact.
We apologize on the scam artist's behalf.
And also apologise you've not won a Rogue driver. Sorry about that.
We are sorry.
How did you guys like the bridges at Rancho Santa Fe? We didn't like it, actually. We loved it.
Yeah.
we
considered moving there. What a place.
Yeah. Very, very special. Timothy, will you guys be testing Ping G430 soon? We have already tested it, Timothy.
Yep.
We'll be releasing the video tomorrow.
Tomorrow, the driver at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. and the Fairwood and hybrid video later in the week. Can't remember, but not tomorrow. Just the driver tomorrow.
Okay, one last one, Mikey. You choose.
Mikey, choose one last question.
Sienna?
What about the TSI 2 and 3? Okay, that's Costco iron review. Have you heard much about this iron?
I just
saw
saw,
the thing, yeah.
saw an image
Looks
of
like a
it.
driving iron.
Well, it looks like an old piece of it looks like an old generic. No, it looks like a Haywood
Yeah.
hollow iron. No,
It's not
just
gonna be
says
exciting.
Kirkland.
No.
It's going to be the same.
People
as all.
will buy them.
Of
It'll
course
be
they
interesting
will.
to see the price of them.
Well, if they're like $700, yeah, they'll sell a boatload of them.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll hit it at some point. I mean,
Yeah,
every other channel. I mean, we probably actually don't need to hit it. You'll see it from
See it enough.
from everyone. Yeah, everyone.
If we get our hands on a set, maybe we'll hit a couple shots. It won't be a groundbreak. I bet you it's a design that's it's already been like tooled. They just probably changed the back.
Totally.
100%.
Yeah. Why don't we end on that? On a Costco note.
I know. Kirkland Costco.
Yeah, thanks guys. That's the hour there. So as we mentioned, we've already done the upcoming Strixon Mark II ZX iron release. You'll see those videos in 2 days. And we are going to play around now for our last video of the day. The boys to my left are going to tag in and out for the ZX5 and the ZX7 and the ZX5. So two really good looking drivers. I think most of Strixon's staff is playing them. I don't think anyone's holding out with the old one.
I wouldn't think so. No.
So we missed technically the embargo on these, so I don't remember where we have it in the schedule, but you'll probably see driver reviews coming from Strixon Mark II models maybe this week or next week.
Nice.
Yep.
That's the plan for the rest of the day.
Just one thing probably just to address. I mean, I know last week online on sort of social, the sort of official TXG club champion brand was officially announced. You guys, we all saw a bunch of questions from it. What does it mean? I think is ultimately what you guys wanted to know. Nothing changing for you guys. That's the biggest thing. I can almost want to kind of get that across to anyone who was thinking that something's going to change with our team, and that type of thing. It's not. For those of you who have seen some of the club champion content, Jake, who's the sort of main lead on their channel, he'll be doing some work with us in terms of when we're on the road and we're on these trips, and definitely going to be part of it. He's already been part of it behind the scenes in terms of organising products and things like that to get. So I think we feel like we're just going to have a little bit more support, towards the channel and scheduling and getting to some of the trips.
Access and stuff.
Yeah, some access, exactly. I mean, there's some stuff coming in the spring that I think you guys will really like.
There's some big stuff coming in the spring, isn't there? Yeah,
there is some big stuff
especially
coming.
in February.
So we will see. We'll see some minor changes to the scheduling in terms of who we get a chance to interact with, which is only a bonus for us.
Obviously, you're going to see some obvious stuff. There's some branding changes.
Yeah.
You're going to see Club Champion mentioned in the intro.
Yep.
Just stuff like that you guys will see. But yeah, in terms of our day to day, we're still making videos every week.
We're still making videos.
We're still live every week.
Yep.
So should be a great year.
It really should be a great year. Yeah. There's some other things coming in terms of an announcement I wanted to make today. I can't quite make it today. I think it's most likely going to be next week about a new store. Very near and dear to my heart.
Cool. Next week, maybe.
I think next
Sure.
Monday it sounds like it's going to be the day. So excited certainly.
Just make sure you tune in and see us. We will be here for a live next week.
Yes.
The week after we will. It won't be on Monday, but we may try to go live at some point in the show.
Yeah, PJ show upcoming.
But next Monday you'll see us, and then we'll be at the show.
Sounds like a plan.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be good.
In Florida, little golf.
You got your outfit looked out yet?
Well,
Outfits?
I'm going to the mall next week.
Next week.
For golf or for dinners?
Yeah, both.
Mikey's gonna be wearing a dinner jacket for every.
Mikey is
Oh, here we go.
officially having sleepless nights about what to wear already.
I love it.
Nordstrom's.
Plenty of ladies down in Florida, Mikey. Yeah. Available ladies in the Orlando area.
Yeah. You can find single ladies right there.
Ukrainian ladies, according to the ad. Beautiful ones.
Lovely
Single
ones.
All right. On that note, we will
Yes.
see you guys a million times this week for videos, and
Yeah.
we'll see you live next Monday.
Yes, if you don't already subscribe, guys, make sure you do. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow along. We've got so much stuff coming out. You're not going to want to miss it.
You need the
Subscribe.
notifications.
Definitely. You know, appreciate you joining us for all these things, but liking, subscribing really makes a difference. It really matters. So, you know, join us along the way.
Please. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you later.